Hi, I'm Charles Byrne. I'm a doctor and I'm the author of the book Save Your Heart, Lose Weight and Help Save the Planet. It's a dietary guide to help reduce heart disease and to lose weight, and what's good for your heart and your health is also good for the planet. My book is all about healthy eating, a diet that is mainly plant-based, it's low fat, and it's been scientifically shown to reduce heart disease and help you lose weight. The same kind of diets that are good for your heart and health are also good for the planet. These kind of diets reduce greenhouse gases, and also animal agriculture is affecting wildlife by loss of natural habitats. It can also help prevent that loss and thereby help wildlife. After reading all of Dr. Ornish's work, I've developed the same kind of diets, but to include diets that also can include small amounts of meat, small amounts of low-fat dairy. And these are equally effective in preventing heart disease, and also there is a particular diet geared towards people who already have heart disease. People are told that heart disease is genetic, it can't be changed, but this is a revolutionary kind of approach that's life-changing. By changing your diet, by switching the type of food you eat, you can actually reverse heart disease, you can prevent it, and you can lose weight. So most of the food in the diets would be vegan, and that plenty of fruit and vegetables. You can eat as much fruit and vegetables as you like, but also the protein comes from plant-based protein. So that's tofu, legumes. One misconception that people have is they think that protein from meat is better quality than protein that you get from vegetables. That's not actually the case. The proteins come from amino acids, and the amino acids that you get from your vegetable protein, from your tofu, is exactly the same as the amino acids you get from a sirloin steak. So the other aspect of the diet is it's whole grain food. So avoid white bread, white pasta. It should be whole grain bread, brown rice, brown pasta, and avoid fats. Avoid fats in cooking. If you do avoid fats in salads. If you do use fats, we use minimum amounts. For instance, 2.5 or 5 mils of rapeseed oil to fry, for example, tofu and vegetables, together with brown rice. That produced a very healthy, balanced meal, which is heart healthy. It's good for your gut microbiome, as it's called, the millions of healthy microorganisms that live in your gut. They actually love this kind of diet. They multiply, and there are more varieties, and that has positive effects for your health. So in some of the options, skim milk or very low fat or no fat dairy can be taken. For instance, I take skim milk with my tea and coffee. I found it very hard to, I always loved tea and coffee, and I found it very hard to give it up altogether. So I take skim milk with that. You can take some low-fat dairy and put it with a curry, vegetable curry, or even a slice of low-fat cheese that's available now, and have it with a pasta dish. So, and in the initial first 2 months of going on the diet, I show you in the book a way of actually calculating the amount of fat that you're taking each day. So say with the calculator on your mobile phone, you can do a quick tally of how much fat a particular food contains. You get a free pass for fruit and vegetables because they contain very low. You can eat as much as you like of those. But there's a misconception as well about carbohydrates. People think when they want to lose weight or help their heart, they should restrict carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are actually healthy as long as they're what's called complex carbohydrates. That's your whole grain bread, your brown rice, your brown pasta. They're all healthy carbohydrates. And fat actually has twice as many calories per gram as carbohydrates. So people are often barking up the wrong tree when they think, I'm going to cut out potatoes, I'm going to cut out bread. It's actually healthier to be very careful about the amount of fat you consume. People also think they're doing a healthy thing by covering their salads in olive oil, and it's not. Olive oil is a fat. Fats and oils are the same thing, and there's much more saturated fat in olive oil than there is, say, in rapeseed oil. The thing that we really watch for the diet is oils and fats, and but then you also, meat is a little bit addictive. You may miss it at first, but after a couple of weeks off meat, I found I didn't miss it at all, and that I had no cravings for it. I'm perfectly happy now with a vegetarian diet, and actually you can appreciate the subtle tastes of vegetables, of brown rice, of tofu. It's a very pleasant diet when you get into it. What I've done is I've divided the diet is divided up into the main meals of the day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then snacks. So in the book, I've given 4 recipes for breakfast, 4 for lunch, and 4 for dinner, giving different varieties of food you can cook. For instance, one is vegetarian shepherd's pie, another is vegetable curry, another is spicy tofu and vegetables. And also, my downfall was snacks, so I've included ideas for healthy snacks in the evening, like having, instead of biscuits that I used to have a tomato sandwich, a cucumber sandwich, some breakfast cereal with some soya milk. All of these things are healthy, filling, and there's something you can eat while you're watching TV in the evening. It's actually for everyone who wants to improve their health, because good health and good heart health is actually a lifelong condition. We don't realize it, but our heart and our blood vessels can start getting affected even in teenage years. But particularly people who've had some heart problems or are worried about their heart, or maybe have, like I had, raised cholesterol or some raised blood pressure, this is a way that they can, without taking tablets, they can start to address these problems. And then the other very big finding from Dr. Ornish's work is in the Lancet study that I mentioned. Those patients who are actually using this diet to help their hearts, they found that they lost on average 24 pounds over the course of a year on the diet, even though they weren't trying to lose weight. So this is a great diet for people who have weight issues and want to address them and want to keep the weight off. And that, together with moderate exercise, is all you need to do. And there's no counting of calories with this. It's focused on healthy eating and just avoiding the bad foods for your heart and health. People don't realize it, but changing to plant-based diets, or even mainly plant-based, even if you still eat some meat but less, plant-based diets are tremendously beneficial to help prevent climate change and to help wildlife. And the reason is that animal agriculture, through which meat is produced, actually produces an enormous amount of greenhouse gases. It's the second largest cause of greenhouse gases, apart from burning of fossil fuels. So animal agriculture actually produces more greenhouse gases than the entire global transport sector. So all of the lorries, the cars, the planes in the world, animal agriculture produces more. Greenhouse gases, they're mainly, the two main culprits are carbon dioxide and methane. And animal agriculture produces about 37% of the global methane. So there's an enormous contribution which people don't realize, and even just reducing the amount of meat you eat reduces that burden on the atmosphere. The other thing we don't realize is that the amount of meat we're eating per person is steadily going up. Compared to the 1950s, we eat twice as much meat per person per year as we did at that time. And I remember when I was at school, our school dinners, you used to have very thin slices of meat. We used to joke that you could read a newspaper through the meat. It was so thin. So we're eating a lot more meat now, and it's not good for our hearts and health. It's not good for the planet. Methane is different, and the thing about it is, although it's much more potent than carbon dioxide in producing global warming, it's about 40 times stronger than carbon dioxide, but it stays in the atmosphere much less time. It stays for 12 years as opposed to 70 years for carbon dioxide. So if we can reduce our animal agriculture, methane levels will start to go down, and much more quickly, because it's also very potent. That can have a very significant effect on reducing global warming and climate change, and in a shorter time.